It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. On this early Monday morning, thank you for taking time out of your day to tune in to a show that is all about business ownership, entrepreneurship, and people making a difference in and around the Tampa Bay and regional community. So I invite you to tune in each and every morning here on 1250 WHNZ to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. As always, you can learn more about this show over at TampaBayRadio.com. Head over to there. Made some website updates over the weekend, and also you can see the cast of guests that are coming in each and every week on the homepage and catch past shows as well. We have an extensive guest network that's now been built up. This is the 13th week of the show, so on the homepage you'll see a link to the guest network. Click on that and click on their show cards, and you'll see the show interviews, a lot of great information, a lot of inspirational guests that have been on the show. So use the site as a resource for information as well, and also please help support the show sponsors. There is a link to the preferred providers on the homepage as well. Click on that, and you also click on their show cards and see interviews with them as well, and check out their services and ways you can help support them and help support the show as well. You can also catch the show on all the different social networking sites. I invite you to please follow me over on Twitter under Jamie_Maloney and Facebook.com/That Business Show. And also we put the show up on iTunes as well for podcast enthusiasts. Head over to iTunes and search for That Business Show. Please leave any feedback as well on the site as well. Help the show grow on iTunes as well. That is a growing forum. I spent the weekend over at the Florida Podfest and had a lot of people there learning about podcasting. So I take the show and I put it up on iTunes, and that's a whole growing market within the business realm, and a lot of advertisers starting to flock to that medium. So if you're in the space of wanting to get into the podcasting business, feel free to contact me. I'll give you some tips and help you out with that space too. You don't have to necessarily be a radio show host to have a podcast. A lot of people start podcasts for nothing more than a few $100s of supplies and in a room in their house. So a lot of good information that I learned over the weekend at the Florida Podfest. I got two great guests in studio with me today. In just a moment, we'll be talking with Eric Higgs, CEO of LumaStream, all about LED, low-cost, efficient lighting solutions. And on the second half of the show, we'll be talking with Anna Van Landingham, owner of Pinterest Pro. I'm sorry, that's a tongue twister. Pinterest Pro Solutions. About how business owners can use Pinterest to increase their business marketing costs, or not increase their costs, but their awareness out in the community. And something she started about 3 years ago after a career in economics. So again, Pinterest Pro Solutions. She'll be on the second half of the show.
Here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Keep in mind, you can catch this show on weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 WHNZ, and learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. Also, please connect with me on all the different social networking sites, Facebook.com/That Business Show, where you can catch all the show updates and who's coming in, as well as over on TampaBayRadio.com. We put up the lineup each and every Sunday. And please follow me over on Twitter under Jamie_Maloney, and also on iTunes. You can catch me on demand. Just search for That Business Show. On the first segment of the show there, we're talking with Eric Higgs, CEO of LumaStream, a company dedicated to providing low-cost, efficient lighting solutions, and got some great information. Any savings ranging anywhere from 40 to 80 to 90% over traditional lighting costs. So business owners definitely need to make note of that and head over to LumaStream.com and give Eric a call. There's a lot of great information on that site as well. A lot of stuff we just did not have time to cover. And again, LumaStream.com. I want to bring in my second guest for the show. Anna Van Landingham is the owner of Pinterest Pro Solutions. When considering her options after retiring from an international award-winning career as an economics instructor, Anna wondered, what do I do now? Lifelong friends introduced her to Pinterest, a new social media platform that required an invitation to join, and Anna explored Pinterest, and thanks to her economics background, envisioned Pinterest Pro Solutions as an excellent marketing tool for businesses. Anna, welcome to the show today.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you very much for stopping in on this early Monday morning, and also for making the trip over here. You're not from the Tampa Bay area. You said you're over on the East Coast, right?
Yes.
Lake Mary?
Yeah, located in the Lake Mary-Sanford area.
Well, thank you very much for coming over and seeing some value in the show and getting the word out. So first off, I got to ask you, I don't even know about I know about Pinterest, but I don't know what it is. So tell me what Pinterest is to begin with.
You're not the only one that doesn't. That's what I get a lot, and that's a part of the process, is to educate people. Pinterest is, the way they came up with the name is you're pinning your interest, and I always tell people to think about it as a bunch of bulletin boards, and you're pinning things on there to show what you're interested in. So, for example, with your business, what you're doing is you're highlighting different parts of your business, and you're allowing people to get to see the human side of your business. It started out as mainly for housewives, and that's why a lot of people think it's just for women. But now it's booming as far as business is concerned with the business accounts and what all Pinterest is doing. So you put a lot of images there, and each one of those images become a clickable link to your website. And that's another thing that a lot of people don't realize, is that every image that you put on Pinterest is a call to action for your website.
Okay, call to action. So if it started out of demand from, you said, women and just stay-at-home moms, housewives, you said, of that nature, what
Right.
were they directing people to then, if they weren't using it for business usage? Then what was Pinterest originally brought to marketplace for? You're saying that women used this in the beginning?
Right. What they were doing is they were sharing ideas. Pinterest originated in the Midwest, particularly in Utah, and of course there's a very large Mormon population. And so the women, stayed at home, and so this was a way of them sharing ideas for, different activities to do with their children, do-it-yourself crafts, and recipes. But because so many people got interested in it, and originally it was you had to have an invitation to join, and so of course business owners started seeing it as a very good tool to use to highlight, because people are visual people. And of course, one of the really great parts about Pinterest is that people love to look at pictures. Okay, and of course, pictures drive emotions, and emotions is what drives sales. So that's what makes it such an excellent tool to use for your business for advertising.
Okay, so Pinterest, are you saying that Pinterest today is now geared more towards business owners in general versus the youth and the people that just, maybe Instagram, for instance, which is a visual platform, which is more for the, hey, look what I'm doing today type of thing. So is
Right.
Pinterest more for the business owners of the community?
Well, there are two different accounts. There's a personal account, and those are for people that just like to go and play on Pinterest a lot. And there's a business account. And if you get a business account and you get your website verified, then you have you're able to do promoted pins. You also have a lot of really good analytics that are comparable to the Google Analytics, which give you an idea of like which pins are really doing well. So that way okay, people really like this pin because they're repinning it a lot. So let me put more of those types of pins on here because that tends to get me more activity. So it's really both. And you're right about Instagram. And I tell people, if your market's from the 15 to 25-year-old, then you definitely, Instagram is where you want to be. But if your market is, from, say, the mid-30s to the 60s, whatever, then you want to be on Pinterest. And then also, the one thing I feel like that Pinterest has an advantage over all other social media is its shelf life. Because a Pinterest pin is, once it's put there, it still gets activity for a very long period of time. I've had pins that I pinned, say, a year ago, and all of a sudden someone will repin it today, and it'll, generate a lot of activity.
Does the business solutions give you metrics, click-through rates, things like that?
Yes.
On that? Mm-hmm. Okay, and so you founded Pinterest Pro Solutions. Learn more about this at PinterestPro.com. You offer a number of different solutions and strategies and services and everything. So talk to me about your vision here. You came out of economics, and what attracted you to Pinterest as a business and a solution for business owners?
Well, being an economics instructor, I've always been very forward thinking and like to get it on the ground floor of something. And so when I was introduced to Pinterest, and it was back when you had to have an invitation to join, when I first joined, all these people started, requesting to follow me and wanting me to follow them and so forth. And so, I saw the demands there, so to speak, and I thought this would be a really great tool if business owners could capture this. And that right after that, a couple of months after that, was when Pinterest started the business account. And so I thought, I'm getting out of teaching, and so this would be a good avenue to go because I'm getting in on the ground floor, which I've always loved to do that with anything. And then I'm still utilizing my passion of teaching, which I absolutely love, and I'm also using my economics because of the business perspective of it.
Now, you mentioned earlier getting your website verified, and is that difficult to do on Pinterest, or is there a process for this? And then once your website is verified, the enhancement of the marketing is enhanced. How does that work, getting verified?
If you have a web person, then it's not very difficult at all because Pinterest gives you the HTML code to put into the header of your website. But some people, because they don't really have that person that developed their website, or they don't have a clue about their website, they find it a little bit more difficult. Also, with some of the multi-level marketing companies, people have websites that are really subdivisions of the major company, and those cannot be verified. And so that's where you run into problems. But if it's, you're like with my website, it's real simple to get the web developer to just input that HTML code in the header, and the website's verified. Okay,
so it's nothing more than code. It's not anything to do with number of hits or any type of history behind the website. Then, so as long as you got a developer, then they can help you out with that.
Right. I tell people that it's like a lot of times whenever you sign up for something, and they'll send you an email saying verify that you signed up for this, verify this email. That's really what Pinterest is doing as far as your website is concerned. And they do this because they feel like that if you have a website, then you are a legitimate business. You aren't just some scammer out there pretending to be a business. And because, most people that go through the trouble to actually have a website built are true business owners.
Okay, so what type of services do you offer at Pinterest Pro Solutions? Again, learn more about this over at PinterestPro.com. But if I'm a business owner coming to you, what are the solutions and services that you're going to provide for me in this space?
I offer three main services. One is I do workshops, and where I have a 2-hour workshop for a group of, say, 10 people, and then I also do one-on-one coaching, and I also do managing of the account for business owners, because a lot of times they don't have time to do it themselves, and of course it's a lot cheaper for them to just outsource it to me because they don't have to pay all the employee taxes and so forth.
Right. Now, these pins that are on the website, these are basically ads, correct? And so you can have different ads, and when people click on them, the idea is to draw people to their website, correct?
In a way. I tell people to think of it in that way, like a billboard on I-4, say.
Right.
But you can't click on the billboard on I-4 and go to your website, but you can these pins. But you really want to, instead of, it's just like with any other social media, you don't want to be just sell, sell, sell. You want to use the 80-20 principle where, 80% of it is personal. So, if you're a real estate broker, don't just put houses on there with a price on them. It show what the community is like, where the houses are located. Because think about it, where you with your MLS listings, things you put like crime rate, the schools, what the neighborhood's like, what shopping's like in the area. So have boards that highlight those things so that people can see these things, and it helps them then, want to take a look at the house.
Do you advise and coach on the use of landing pages versus just directing everything to the home page of the website? You see a lot of people that just want to direct everything right to the home page instead of effective use of marketing through the use of landing pages, things like that. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Definitely want landing pages because you have about 3 seconds and somebody's gone from your website. So that's one of the key things, is to make sure you have a good website, and because that's where everything starts, is with a website. And so with that, what you want to do is, if it's a pin that whatever the image is showing, you want to make sure that that directly correlates with where you're sending them on their on your website.
Right, and people that may not be familiar with the term landing page, but this is a specific page that is geared towards that specific ad without all the hoopla of the home page with all the different links, and that way the consumer is, geared towards that one thought process right there. And a lot of people, like I was saying, just, direct everybody to the home page, and they lose a lot of consumers because they see this, I don't know where to go from here. So is this one of the services that you offer to your business owners as well, is coaching them on the use of landing pages?
Yes, I definitely do that. And along with that, developing a plan, because, people ask me, do you use keywords? Well, I always emphasize, yes, Pinterest keywords, because before you ever get started with your, building your boards and so forth, what you should do is do the research on Pinterest and figure out what are the keywords, because Pinterest groups things according to different terminology. And so you want to figure out what those are. And so I show them how to do this and how to map out a course. Just like if you're taking a trip, you want to make sure you map out the course and you know where the different turns are. Well, the same thing is true with Pinterest. You want to map that out so that you're directing them to the correct place on the website, but also you're mapping it out so that you can get found on Pinterest when people do searches.
How is Pinterest? Obviously, it's lacking behind the Facebooks, the Twitters, the LinkedIn's, all that stuff. What is it about Pinterest that keeps it kind of in the back of the pack in the social media space? And where are the opportunities within Pinterest that you see?
I think the thing that keeps it, behind some of the others is Facebook. Everybody's familiar with. Okay, Twitter, everybody's familiar with, and it's easy to jump right in there. But with Pinterest, people are not as familiar with it. And so when you first open up a Pinterest account and you take a look at it, it's kind of overwhelming, okay? And so people, look at that and they go, ooh, this is not good. Also, a lot of people still have the idea that it's just a bunch of recipes and arts and crafts. And that's where I find that talking to different groups, and showing people what Pinterest does and what they have on there really helps, because they see that there is a lot more on there than just recipes and arts and crafts.
Yeah, I myself am learning a whole lot right now because I don't have a Pinterest account, and I've heard of it, but I don't utilize it. So definitely going to be checking that out after the show, and then throughout the week I need to get up to speed on that one. If you're just tuning in, we're talking with Anna Van Landingham, owner of Pinterest Pro Solutions, and learn more about this over at PinterestPro.com. Coming back from the break, we'll be talking a little bit more about Pinterest Pro Solutions with Anna Van Landingham on That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Hey there, it's Lynn Wise, the founder of Wise Business Advisors and Contractor Business Alliance. I am a certified value builder advisor, and I help business owners build a company that will allow them to have the business that they dreamed of when they started. Why did you go into business for yourself? I'm sure it was not to work 100 hours a week with no work-life balance and no financial freedom. What am I talking about? I'm talking about building a business that provides value to you and your family now and in the future. You can learn about the 8 essential areas of a business that you must build to have a business that can be an asset for your future. Go to wisebusinessadvisors.com and take the Value Builder score. It is free and will deliver your score immediately on how you are doing on building a valuable business for you and your family. Or call me at 772-834-8513 to to learn more about the Value Builder system.
In the market for a reverse mortgage? Contact Access Reverse, a local company with personalized service in the Bay Area. Call them at 727-347-0305 or visit accessreverse.com for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. They'll come to your home and speak with you about the best options for your reverse mortgage. Plus, they offer the lowest closing costs. Don't just get a reverse mortgage. Get the right reverse mortgage with Access Reverse. Visit accessreverse.com. NMLS number 4566. Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
This report is brought to you by Staples. Staples has everything for your business needs. Get 40% off large banners, posters, and lawn signs in-store or online. Discount before taxes. Ends 6/27. May not be combined with other offers. See store or staples.com/signs for details. Make on budget happen. Make getting noticed happen. Staples, make more happen.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
Slow traffic this morning northbound 275 between 5th Avenue North and Gandy Boulevard due to an accident in that area. Westbound I-4 delays from Memorial Boulevard to before Park Road through the Lakeland area due to a crash right before Park Road. And northbound 50th Street at Causeway Boulevard, a reported accident. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterwick. Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
A 40% rain chance, high 86 north of I-4 to 88 degrees south of I-4. Tonight, a few clouds, low 74. Tomorrow, a 60% rain chance, high 82.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Catch the show on here weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 WHNZ and learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. And you can also catch us live in the studio via the live stream. If you're watching us today, you may notice the studio's been remodeled, so to speak. So we're in here at the newly remodeled studio at 1250 WHNZ, and thanks to the engineers and the people at iHeartMedia Communications here for getting that done over the weekend so quickly. They ripped the place out of here on Friday, and we're coming in Monday morning, and it's completely redone. So thanks to them for that, and you'll notice a different setup here if you're watching the live stream. Again, live stream button over on TampaBayRadio.com. Currently talk with Anna Van Landingham, owner of Pinterest Pro Solutions. Learn more about this over at PinterestPro.com. And on the last segment there, we're talking about what Pinterest is and how business owners can use Pinterest Pro or Pinterest and your company, Pinterest Pro Solutions, to enhance their marketing and their business reach. But I want to know a story about Pinterest. Tell me something interesting that you've experienced or that you've seen people do with Pinterest in your space.
I have a gentleman that is in the home remodeling business, and he had done some work for a lady before, and she got remarried, and she and her new husband were in Hawaii. And so she contacted him, and she wanted him to add a room onto her home and do some other remodeling things. So what they did was she would go on Pinterest, and she would pin on there the things that she wanted, like which faucets, that sort of thing. And then he would look at that. He would go and do the work, take pictures, and send them to, pin them on Pinterest, and she would take a look at it. And so he completely did the remodeling job and adding on the extra room through Pinterest. So, to me, that's pretty Pinteresting.
That's where that name comes from, again. It's Pinterest, interesting. So, again, I'm over at your website, PinterestPro.com, and you can offer a number of services and strategies, and I want to talk about mapping pins. Talk to me about what mapping pins are.
Well, one of the things that I always tell people is that you want to map out your strategy on Pinterest. And what a lot of people don't realize is that those keywords need to be everywhere. So, for example, if one of my keywords is housing, okay, then the files that I have on my computer, because that I'm going to upload to Pinterest, I want to make sure the word housing is in the name of those files. Because most people, when you download pictures, they're by numbers, Well, you don't want to do that. You want to change it and put, keywords there because the robots read those. Then from there, the next thing you want to do is to make sure that in the description of the pen, you're using the word housing. Okay? And that's where a lot of people mess up, is they don't bother to even write a description. And that's, you're giving up real estate there. And then in the name of the boards, you want to have those key words. And so you would want to have a board, and the name of that board is housing. And when I first started out, and when we first started out using Pinterest with businesses, I would tell people, be creative with your board names. And, all the gurus in the industry said the same thing. But as we've learned more and done more research, we've realized, use those keywords. Don't worry about being creative because you're wanting to be found. And then, of course, from there, even in your company name. For example, I have a client, and the name of her company is My Socksy Feet. Well, she makes socks that are mismatched that apparently young people like to wear nowadays. Back when I was growing up, that had been embarrassing. And so I kept trying to convince her to add socks onto the end of it because, My Socksy Feet, who's going to search for that? Just people that already know about her. And so I kept trying to get her to add socks onto the end of the name of her account. After about 6 months, one day she said, "Oh, I get it." And I thought, "Oh, thank goodness, finally." So, those are the little things that I work with people and help them and show them how they can do it more efficiently by once they get everything set up, then setting a schedule and so forth. And because, mapping things out like that is a lot of work and it's very time consuming, that is another niche I started offering, was setting up the business account for people. Because what I found was that if I set the account up for them and I showed them what the keywords were and they had 10 boards to go by, that they were more apt to continue to use Pinterest with their business.
How long have you been operating Pinterest Pro Solutions? How long has this been around now?
For a little over 3 years.
3 years. And is Pinterest a big component of your marketing plan as well for your business? How effective has it been for getting the word out for Pinterest Pro Solutions, for instance?
It's been very effective in getting the word out because people go there. What we always say is people go to Facebook to see what's going on, and people go to Pinterest to see what they want to buy. Okay? And what a lot of people don't realize is that with Pinterest, it really is a good driver of traffic to your website. And that's one of the things that I tell people is to remember that it's a driver of traffic to your website. And so it's the website's job to make the sale. And the average order on Pinterest is $194. It's final dollar sales, okay, once they get to the website. And that outsells Amazon, Yahoo, Bing, Google, and final dollar sales, okay? And so when you have 20 million people that are making over $100,000 a year, that's a good market to be in.
Yeah, well, definitely some good information, and I definitely learned a lot today. So a marketing resource that I definitely need to be taking advantage of and looking into. Anna, thank you very much for being in studio this morning with some great information.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you very much. And that was Anna Van Landingham, owner of Pinterest Pro Solutions. Learn more about her company over at PinterestPro.com and connect with her. Send her an email for some more information, Anna@PinterestPro.com, and we'll get that up on the show recap as well. Also, thanks to Eric Higgs, CEO of LumaStream, on the first part of the show. Learn more about them over at LumaStream.com and connect with him, Eric.Higgs@LumaStream.com. Hope everybody's off to a great start this early Monday morning, and be sure to catch me back in here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. on That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.